Like I'm off again with you.
I get a little dicey and nervous sitting at that 49th pick with watching the wide receiver jump that really happened. The Steelers selected Chase Claypool, the wide receiver out of Notre Dame, 6'4", 229 pounds. So they do get the big body, dynamic receiver that they were looking for. I don't know necessarily right away where he fits into this offense. I'm guessing they're probably going to have to put him. If I had to guess, it would be Deontay Johnson and Claypool on the outsides, and your two slot receivers would end up being Juju and James Washington. But the other interesting pickup there is the offseason acquisition of Eric Ebron. So they also have a big body receiver there for Ben to come back to. And trust me, before anybody sends me a bunch of messages about how Ben Roethlisberger's not going to come back and be this superhero. Guys, he hasn't been a superhero for 2 years, at least. It's probably been a little bit longer than that. He's had really good talent around him. And from what we saw in the first game and a half that he played last year, it wasn't looking great. Father Time is undefeated. So I'm glad they didn't go with a quarterback in this position. That's about all I'm thankful for. We'll give it a B. We'll move on. At the 50th pick, you had the Chicago Bears take Jalen Johnson, cornerback out of Utah, 6 foot even, 193, solid press cover corner, good size and range to hold his own in the run game. He lunges a little bit, and at times when he's in a situation where it's a bang type move, he forgets his technique and kind of just tries to be an athlete. But when he sticks with his technique, he's one of the better corners that was taken in the draft. So I gave that one. I scored that an A for the Chicago Bears. I know that's not normal for the Bears to be hearing because it's been a rough go for them a little bit. But yeah, we'll give him an A on that. It's a great pick, Jalen Johnson at 50. Number 51, the Dallas Cowboys. Trayvon Diggs, the corner out of Alabama, Stephon Diggs' brother, 6'1", 205 pounds. The pick is a replacement pick. It's exactly what the Cowboys needed. They needed a corner. They went and got a corner. They went and got a big body corner with the size and strength to match up against bigger receivers in the league. He's quite physical on film. Little bit of I don't want to call him a tackling ghost, but he's definitely not. He's not a corner that I'm going to be throwing into a tackling position if I don't have to. But for what Dallas needed, it's a cover corner. He can play zone. He can play man. I think that's a win. I gave it a B+. The Los Angeles Rams were up next, and again with a running back it's a question mark for me from them. They went with Cam Akers, the running back out of Florida State, 5'10", 217 pounds. And this is really their pick to replace Todd Gurley, at least positionally. I'm not saying that he's Todd Gurley-esque or anything, but he seems to fit the scheme that they're trying to push towards. And with two picks really close to each other, not picks, with the running back situation the way it was, with Gurley not really playing this year and then getting traded away. One, you save a lot of money. Two, you have a decent running back. I think he could develop into a solid positional player for them. But I was a little confused. I'm not necessarily confused. I just don't know why that's the running back they took. But I would have liked J.K. Dobbins in that offense a little bit more. That's where I'm at with that. I'm going to give it a C+. So Philadelphia then drafted Jalen Hurts with the 53rd pick in the draft. And a lot of people, this wasn't a I don't understand the pick type thing was what the consensus was. And the thing about this pick is, one, it's almost as if what Tennessee did with Marcus Mariota last year and Ryan Tannehill, where you had Mariota lining up as a receiver, running the ball as a running back, throwing a couple passes. Jalen Hurts is going to give, the Philly special and all these other things that Philadelphia likes to do. It's going to give them the opportunity to do it. And this one, not as much, because I think Jalen Hurts has the same type of durability issues in the NFL or is going to have the same type of durability issues, but Carson Wentz can't seem to stay healthy. So at least you have a dual threat quarterback that can come into the game and, if need be, finish out a game for you. So I gave this one a C+ as well. I think it's a good pick for the backup in New England or in Philadelphia, but I don't think that I don't think you needed to make the pick this early if you were going to go with a backup quarterback. But there has to be some major plan for Jalen because he is a phenomenal athlete. Moving on to pick 54, the Buffalo Bills, A.J. Epinesa, an edge rusher from Iowa, 6'5", 275. Technique, strength, and size are incredible. Outstanding hand skills, and he's going to fit the defense. He's going to fit the Bills' blue-collar style. Those people up in Bills Mafia, the Buffalo area, blue-collar workers. This is the type of guy he's going to put his helmet on every day, and he's going to come to play. So that's a good pick. I gave him an A on that one. Baltimore taking J.K. Dobbins with the 55th pick, running back out of Ohio State, 5'10", 217 pounds. Here's the thing about him. You put him in an offense with Mark Ingram and Lamar Jackson, it's going to be a very dynamic backfield for this group. I really like the pick. I think it makes that offense that much more dangerous. And we'll go. I'm going to give him a B. I'm going to give him a B+. It was a B originally. I didn't like the pick, but when I first heard it, I didn't like the pick. But the more I think about it and what he's going to be in that offense, the more you just have to really enjoy the pick. So it's a B+. The Miami Dolphins at 56 went with Raekwon Davis. D tackle out of Alabama, 6'7", 306 pounds. He stayed with the Dolphin theme on trying to fix both sides of the line immediately, and we're going to do it through the draft. We're going to do it with youth and young, and I think that he is a great run stuffer, but then provides a problem on the other side, which you need from your defensive lineman. He doesn't really give you a pass rush. So might be a first and second down defensive tackle and then have him running off the field for a sub package. But he doesn't seem to really have any moves or want to rush the passer when you look at him on film. I gave that pick a C. It's just I don't see the point in drafting a guy that's only going to play maybe 2 downs every possession for you on the defensive side of the ball. 57, the Rams come in again. And this was a big pick for me. I really liked it because I think it replaces the Brandon Cooks issue. 6'2", 196 pound Van Jefferson, wide receiver out of Florida. He runs vet-like routes. He has a vet-like release when he comes off. If that can translate and continue to be his MO in the NFL, he is going to cause a big, big problem for certain corners in this league that like to play that laid-back cover man, but a little bit more laid back. He is going to get on them very quickly, and the way that he runs a route so crisply, it's going to pose problems for the secondaries for sure. I gave that a B+ as well. Minnesota comes in at 58 with Ezra Cleveland, offensive tackle from Boise State, 6'6", 311 pounds, and it's a perfect pick for the Vikings because he's a zone blocking style lineman, and the Vikings run a zone blocking scheme. He's going to be able to be plugged right into there, and is really going to create protection for in the run game and in pass pro. So this was a home run for the Vikings. It was a need. They found their guy. They watched him fall far enough down into the second round that they were comfortable enough with taking him at the 58th position. It's an A+ for me. 59 was the New York Jets. They took Denzel Mims, the wide receiver out of Baylor, 6'3", 216 pounds. This guy's a yak guy for those fantasy people out there. He's a guy that's going to catch the ball. He's after contact, he's going to get you a couple extra yards, might get you a touchdown in that short yardage in the red zone. Good size, good speed. The thing he's going to need to improve on is he's not a strong route runner. He gets very lazy at times. If he can get consistent in his route running, he would be. It would have been a higher grade. I'm going to give them a B plus on this. Next year, they're going to look back and this guy is going to be one of the guys we talk about in the draft that was a steal for the New York Jets. So, moving on to number 60, it was the New England Patriots. Josh Uche, the linebacker from Michigan. 6'1", 245 pounds. He's great sideline to sideline. Flashes speed and can be not only flashes speed sideline to sideline, but can flash the speed off the edge, which can get on. He can get on a tackle and almost it's surprising because he doesn't do it all the time. And he's going to be a great player to incorporate there with Chase Winovich. So once again, I mean, the New England Patriots really, I think they've had a great draft so far through the first 2 rounds. And I mean, this is another one. This is a B plus. Could be an A minus if the time's going to tell. Tennessee Titans picking at 61. Christian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. He's 6', 197. He's the true definition of a ball hawk. You throw the ball anywhere near this guy, you might as well look at it. Go look at it on the iPad or what is that, the little tablet that they have, because he's probably taking it the other way. The guy's size could become an issue, but he's medium size for a corner, medium to average build, I guess you would say. And I think your bigger receivers might have a field day with him, as his vertical wasn't the greatest in the world, but he could have had a bad day at the combine, because I don't think the combine is as useful as everybody thinks it is. I'd rather see him on film, and on film, the guy can play. Give him some pads, strap up the shoulder pads, strap up your helmet, and let's go. Because that's a great pick. I'm also going to give the Titans there an A, and also say that through the first two rounds, I think the Titans have had a decent. I think that there's some positions that they picked up that maybe fans are questioning and scratching their heads a little bit, but for the most part, I think they've had a successful draft, and we'll see how it progresses into the later rounds. The Green Bay Packers decided to also draft another backup for a starter in a position that they have, and going with the bowling ball running back, A.J. Dillon, running back out of Boston College, 6', 249. The guy literally looks to run people over every opportunity that he can. There's a lot of upside, but then there's the other problem. A running back of that style, if he's going to run and look for contact, you're going to have less years shelf life, because eventually that contact's going to catch up with your body. I gave this a C. I think that he can maybe become like an H-back for them and develop a little bit of a receiving presence out of the backfield, but I don't understand this pick either. I think you need a wide receiver or a tight end, or give Aaron Rodgers something. You guys were a game away from winning a Super Bowl, or going to the Super Bowl at least, but it's a C. Number 63 was the Kansas City Chiefs. They took Willie Gay Jr., linebacker out of Mississippi State, 6'1", 243 pounds. Interesting. Willie Gay was suspended for 8 games this year for violating team policy. Apparently there was a fight or something in the locker room or somewhere before one of the senior games or a practice. There were some questions during his combine and going through this process of there were character issue questions and whatnot. Kansas City doesn't seem to feel that way in any way, shape, or form. And if nothing else, the guy he plays like a missile. There's no hesitation to his game. He's going to hit you, and he gives a little bit more stability to an already decent defense for the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're going to give that a B+. And at 64 in the last pick in the second round, which I thought it was a little bit of a steal, the Carolina Panthers took Jeremy Chin, safety out of South Illinois, 6'3", 221 pounds. The guy's a smaller version of Isaiah Simmons, so he can play that hybrid position all over the field. in different positions. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a linebacker per se outside, but he gives you that sub package guy that can come down, and you don't need to waste a corner. You can have a bigger guy in a safety position playing man up coverage or zone coverage with the receivers. So that's how the second round went to me. We give that Carolina Panthers pick an A, by the way. That was a steal. So, but that's the way it goes to me, Chuckleheads. I appreciate you watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with day 3, or well, not day 3, but round 3. So keep watching. Thank you.
Hello to my little friend.